Okay, the action getting underway here at the Furnace. Week 6 of the Mitsubishi Challenge. And the Suns in their blue strip at first use. Rucker already. Whoa, is he fired up early? Derek Rucker. A three-pointer straight away. The Suns lead 3-0. Well, David Blades is courtside. Bladesy, you've gone for the Suns by 12. I'm pretty popular at the moment, aren't I?
Yeah, okay. Look for the Tigers tonight to shut down Derek Rucker. He's been starting to hit some form this week, and also look for the ball to look for them to stop the ball going into Clarence Tyson. Offensively, they'll be trying to get Mark Bradkey off, who has been struggling to find some form, and also for Blair Smith to try and dominate inside. With the Suns, okay, offensively, they'll be just doing the same thing that they've been doing right throughout the rest of the season, and look for them defensively in a 2-3 matchup zone. Follow Andrew Gaze and Leonard Copeland through and try and shut them down. My prediction still stands, Ken, 10 by the Suns by 12.
Okay, well, all the Suns basically are battling the flu at the moment, including David Blades. I don't know what they've been up to. D'Ambrosio, strong move, baseline. Great start from the Suns. They lead 5-zip.
The good thing there from the Suns first up offensively has been some good ball movement. As long as they keep putting it through hands, they will extend the Tigers' defence. It's not renowned for being as strong as some of the other clubs because they generally outscore teams. But as I said in the stand-up, Ken, 98 points a game, the Tigers, which is something like 11 points per game, down on last season's average.
Well, an offensive foul called there on Warwick Giddy for the Suns with another possession. They have been starting games very well, the Suns. Apart from that Illawarra game, they really have started to bury teams early, but it is a 48-minute game of basketball.
Well, they tend to come out of the blocks very hard. They're very aggressive right from the word go defensively. And there's Gaze inside. Boy, I tell you what, there's about $1 million been made on that high post cut from Gaze, slipping in the back door for a little layup.
Well, talking to Mark Bragg during the week, he said it's basically one team you really don't have to watch videos of because you know the Tigers, every time they come out, they play the same sort of offense week in, week out. But it's obvious. Oh, sensational pass, Derek Rucker, to find Jason Cameron lurking on the baseline, and he lost Andrew Gaze. And at the other end of the floor, Andrew Gaze lost Jason Cameron. So a bit of tit for tat. Blair Smith, big game in the first game of the season in the absence of Mark Bradkey. Leonard Copeland misses. Smith picks up the scraps, bounces around. Bradkey's big hands are there. It came off Bradkey, there's not much doubt about that. And Clarence Tyson told referee Eddie Crouch he got it wrong, but
well, benefit there of the three-man situation with the refereeing too, because Steve Bignell on the side of the floor had a clear look at it and stepped in and just pulled up play to make sure the possession went the right way.
Cool, tries to get around Giddy, does so. Great pass to D'Ambrosio. The draw and pass from Simon Curl, drew two players and dished it off for another two.
Well, Tony D'Ambrosio and Clarence Tyson both scoring at 60% on their shooting averages, naturally because they shoot most of it close to the basket, but the benefit that D'Ambrosio and Tyson have got this year is Curl's penetration is really helping to get them the ball.
Bradkey almost loses possession while the Suns are chasing everything. They force another turnover and they come down very quickly down the floor. Bradkey just swats it away from D'Ambrosio. Gaze now for the Melbourne Tigers. Looks to get around 1-2, props and buries it. Class personified, Andrew Gaze.
And absolutely no fear of taking the shot. No rebounders out there, but Andrew Gaze has the license.
9 plays 4 at this early stage of the first term. Curl thought about it, brought it in closer. It'll be a Suns possession with 16 seconds on the shot clock. Rucker finds a bit of room, penetrates and dishes out to Curl for 2. It connects, and the Suns into double figures already, 11-4.
The motion from the Suns there, their quick ball movement, players on the move constantly, is worrying the Tigers a little bit at this stage of the game, but it is early days yet.
Gaze. Cameron has the job on Gaze. Bradkey, double team, finds Giddy, who in turn finds Blair Smith, and he goes up strong for the jam. Rucker now for the Suns. Penetrates. Nothing happened. Brings it to D'Ambrosio. And that basket will count for D'Ambrosius. It's called as a block. And he'll go to the charity stripe to make it a three-point play.
Let's have a look at this if we can. Blair Smith, I'm just wondering whether he got, well, it's a little bit late there for us, but I don't think Blair Smith was established. He really hadn't got himself set in time. It was a close call, and most times I think you'll find with the referees that they'll err in favour of the offensive player unless they're sure.
D'Ambrosius comes short on that, 13-6. Still 8 minutes to play in the first term. Bradkey, back from the NBA and looking to find form. Didn't play too much in America. He has been sick with a bit of a flu virus or something. He said he's on antibiotics at the moment. Bradkey up strong, and it counts. The foul is on Tony D'Ambrosius.
Well, Mark Bradkey just simply too strong there. A pretty solid foul from D'Ambrosius, and Bradkey still managed to put the 2 points away. You look around the floor with the height matchups of the two teams. The Tigers are very big in their guards positions, which gives them an advantage over the Suns. They're bigger in the middle, but they're also bigger in the guard spot. So expect to see Copeland go down in the block with Rucker occasionally as well, down in the low post.
Cameron to Curl. Bit of motion offense from the Suns. Flicking and finding players with ease. Rucker now to D'Ambrosius. Shot clock down to 13 seconds. Curl looking for options. Still nothing happening for the Suns. Time running out. Nice pass. But Tyson found him there too long, and he's been called with a 3-second violation.
It doesn't happen often, the 3-second call, but Clarence was in there for a heck of a long time.
From one end of the baseline to the other, but just didn't go out. So Gaze now for the Tigers. Copeland. Foul has been called. It's on Simon Curl. It'll be a Tigers possession from the baseline. This is Copeland. Leonard Copeland averaging around 22. Steal from Simon Curl. And he makes them pay, asking for the foul as well. But 2 points will do as the Suns lead 15-8. The Tigers looking a little concerned. Copeland props for 2. And Clarence Tyson has the good inside position and gets another defensive board.
A little bit of instant offense here from both teams. And neither team coming up with a made basket. We've got them running up and down the floor, but not producing anything too consistent if they're going to take very quick shots. Here's another one, but Gaze is the man. He's allowed to, but it's still not going down.
Now Rucker on Giddy. He props and puts it short as well. And Mark Bradkey, first player back there for the Tigers. So now Andrew Gaze settles it down. Both teams gasping for air. The alley-oop play. Oh, almost for Leonard Copeland. You could see it. Andrew Gaze was saying, go there. Oh, action aplenty as Bradkey just blocks that from Tyson. Now what's going to happen? It's another steal. Well, this is great stuff for the fans. The coaches are tearing their hair out. Now, inside to D'Ambrosius. Oh, nice play. Tyson cleans up and gets 2.
Well, don't be surprised if you see a timeout shortly. We do have one.
Well, you can pick either coach was going to call it, I think. The fans are fired up. The Suns are leading 17 points to 8 with still 5.5 minutes left to play.
Basketball action hits the Murray Sporting Complex Saturday, May 17th, when Townsville takes on Cairns. The Carmichael Ford Sunbirds are on at 6:15 and Coca-Cola Heat at 8:30, thanks to David Aubrey AMP. Doors open at 5:30.
Welcome back to the action. The Tigers with possession. Gaze comes off the screen, makes a bit of room. No call from the referee. Surprising one there. Curl left alone, plenty of time, Simon Curl, and nails a three-pointer. Whoa, the Suns have blown it out to 12. 20, plays 8. The Tigers searching for some answers at the moment. The Suns have got it all as Jason Cameron gets another steal. Wait for it.
It was going to be.
JC!
It was going to be a dunk, a little fumble on the way up, and he made sure of two.
Oh, it was all there to happen. He let me down badly.
Scoreline of 22-8 to the Suns right now. That's a good lead to have at this point in the game, but they are notoriously hot starters, the Suns. The Tigers will not panic. They'll work their way back into this game.
Smith. Bradkey for two. Nice little jumper short. Well, they're doing everything right at the moment, the Suns. They're looking good. Oh, great pass from Rucker. Look at Tyson. He's loving this. Wow, 24 plays 8. My prediction has been thrown out the window.
Yeah, well, you will make them.
Well, see, Tyson wasn't happy with me. He said, you got to be kidding, man. How can you go against us? Blair Smith off the glass for two. Now the Suns, what can they do this time? Tyson, oh, puts the ball on the floor.
Bradkey puts it away.
Whoa, Mark Bradkey up there as well, equal to the task.
I wonder whether the pace of this game is going to tell on the Tigers more so than the Suns. The Suns will go deeper into their bench than what the Tigers will. Ray Gordon's over there for the Tigers. He'll play a bit tonight, there's no doubt about that. Another young fellow there by the name of Daniel Egan. Just watch out for him. He hasn't played a lot of minutes so far this season, but can really play.
Curl comes off the screen and connects. Simon Curl looking for a big game. Up to 9 already. 80% from the field.
Well, Simon shot only 25% from the field last week. Had a very disappointing night by his standards. He's away to a good start.
15 seconds left on the shot clock. Giddy puts it on the floor. Finds room and gets it to Copeland. They're just being patient, the Tigers. Not panicking at this stage. The Suns are looking good, though. Tyson out to Kruger. First touch for the game. Curl. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Steal from Andrew Gaze. Read the pass and gets two, Andrew Gaze. So Gaze now up to 6 points.
The important thing for the Tigers here is defense, though. If they can't stop it, they've got to shut the Suns' offense down and perhaps slow their running game as much as they can, because if they're going to get into a running game with the Suns, I think that's a battle the Suns will probably win.
Good play from Kieron Mitchell-Hill to get a bit of room and finds 2 points as well. Gee, he's come on this season, Kieron.
I think it was 12 points last week for Kieron, which was an important contribution considering Curl was down on his scoring. It was a good input from the bench.
Bradkey, strong to the hoop. Doesn't get two, though. Tyson. Another defensive board that takes his tally up to 4 already. Mitchell-Hill to Curl again, baseline. Oh, is he running hot? Is it going to be another 49-point game from Curl?
Well, I'll tell you something, if he gets a look at the basket, you will see it go up. And while it's going down, don't get in his way.
11 points, 5 of 6 from the field. The Suns, the best field shooting percentage team in the league. Gaze with a long-range bomb, but the big man in Bradkey follows it in and gets two. Rucker now puts it on the floor, dishes off, nice pass, and Kruger doesn't let him down.
Suns have been mixing up their defense down here. It certainly looks like man-to-man some of the time with that match-up zone. They're in the 2-3, but the Tigers are still running their standard shuffle offense against the zone.
Copeland, almost the steal. Nothing going right for the Tigers. Everything they touch the Suns is turning to gold.
Well, it's due to the level of intensity that they're playing too. If there's a loose ball, they've got it. If there's a rebound to get, they've got it. They're working extremely hard on maintaining that intensity.
Look at that field shooting percentage, 71%.
Well, hang on, just look out. Curl at 83, Mitchell-Hill 100%, Kruger 100%. Yes, they've only had a couple of shots. Cameron 100%. Yeah, it's a great shooting percentage, and I wonder how long you can maintain that throughout the game. The Tigers would be hoping not too long.
Well, they're shooting around about 51% on an average as a team, as I said, leading the league at the moment, and the Tigers at 48%. Rucker now. 32-16, a high-scoring first term. Can it continue? Inside to Froling, his first touch, and it's a travel.
Some good use of the bench here from the Suns also. You see both Tyson and D'Ambrosio and Cameron and Curl, 4 of the starters all resting at this point. So Mark Bragg showing a lot of faith in his bench to close out the quarter.
Whereas the Tigers have still got 4 of their 5. Ray Gordon connects with a 3. And as Trevor mentioned, not very deep, the Tigers bench. Kieran Mitchell-Hill running the floor well, and the skipper found him in the open court. He gets 2.
Well, if Mark Bradkey has not been well over the last couple of weeks, he's not going to get the chance to walk up and down the floor tonight. The Suns' big men will run the floor very, very hard.
Gaze double-teamed. Still manages to get around them and get 2. Well, you can't stop him. He averages 34 points a game.
Which I think most teams accept. They grant that to the Tigers and see what they can do with the rest of the players.
You can see how much time is remaining in the first term. 34-21. The Suns lead. Kruger goes one way, comes back the other, but doesn't connect. And the Tigers now, time running out. Gaze with a prayer. So, after the first 12 minutes, the Suns in front, 34-21. Furness, the Tigers with first possession through Andrew Gaze. Gordon, patience from the Tigers. They trail 34-21. Copeland with 3 and his first for the game. Well, I think the Tigers were just glad that that first quarter was over, Trevor.
Well, I think they weathered the storm. I mean, that's what it's all about. But I think right now their defense is what's got to happen. They've got to be able to slow the Suns down, particularly their transition game. There's D'Ambrosio. I mean, finding a way to the basket fairly comfortably there. I mean, they've really got to stop the ball getting inside to those players for those closer attempts at the shots.
Good position from Jason Cameron. It's rewarded with a charge foul on Andrew Gaze. David Blades is courtside. He had to listen to what Mark Bragg said at quarter time. He'd have to be fairly happy, Bladesy.
And what he wants the team to do is just to keep pushing the ball, to get the defensive stops, pull the rebound and then push it down the floor. The Tigers aren't getting back on defence. And that's exactly what Lindsay Gaze talked about. He was livid at his players for not putting the effort in getting back on the defensive transition and giving up about 10 points from the on transition.
Well, Clarence Tyson gets one over the top of Mark Bradkey. Tyson up to 6 points.
What the Tigers need to do to control that transition game is to be very patient on offense and make sure they get good shots away that they can also rebound. If you can rebound the thing, you've got a chance to stop it. If the Suns get clear boards, they're going to be off to the races like they are right now.
Curl gets around the player with ease. And the Suns, they still retain possession even when it looked like it was going to be the Tigers. Rucker hits around Copeland. Curl for 3. Off the glass. I didn't hear him call it.
Well, I tell you something, there's a smile on his face, and I don't know whether he really was shooting for the wall, but it still went in.
39-24. Gaze gets around Tony D'Ambrosio. It's a block foul on D'Ambrosio and Gaze to the charity stripe for 2.
Andrew Gaze just trying to take things into his own hands at the moment. The Tigers are a little bit flat and they need something to ignite them. Mark Bradkey's still not looking all that strong and not playing as well as what we know he can. But Andrew Gaze, they must trust his free throw shooting, mate. They're all up at the other end of the floor watching him shoot. The Tigers, they don't have a rebounder or another player in the half court with him. But I guess it's something like 89% for the season. You can let him shoot and get out of his way.
Exactly.
Oh, having said that,
1 of 2 for Andrew Gaze. 9 points for the game. Curl leading all scorers at the moment with 14. Tyson looking for options. Found one in Curl. Good movement from the Suns. Rucker now. Oh, yes. Nice pass to D'Ambrosis. Gee, they're looking good. Psychologically, that was my prediction. They're fired up, these guys.
Well, I tell you something, with my experience with the young players I'm coaching right now with motion offense and that constant movement of players in the ball, it is extremely difficult to maintain your defense against that style of basketball. And the Tigers there really worked hard, but still gave up a layup.
Smith, they're just standing the Tigers. Oh, Ray Gordon keeps them in touch. The Suns are 41, the Tigers 28. They're just blowing them away at the moment. Rucker to Curl. He thought about it again. Why not? He is hot. D'Ambrosis doesn't get it, and they're away now. The Tigers through Gaze. He props, thought about it. Nothing happens, and a turnover again to the Suns.
Leonard Copeland just letting him down a little bit then. He just expected Andrew to shoot and didn't cut to the basket looking for the ball.
Gordon. Oh, Curl is holding Gaze.
Well, I think Gordon should have given it to Gaze under those circumstances too. Gaze had Curl on his back, should have had the ball.
Good defense from the Suns. Double team every time Andrew Gaze puts the ball on the floor. Gordon now, keeping them in touch, Ray Gordon.
Well, I'll tell you something, the Tigers owe Ray Gordon a lot in the last 2 seasons. Coming off the bench, he has probably played some of the best basketball of his career.
Well, look at that, 3 of 3 from beyond the three-point arc. Nice cut from D'Ambrosis, and he gets a good pass from Jason Cameron.
Well, I think I just saw a reaction from Lindsay Gaze over there. Very, very frustrated. And I tell you something, when Lindsay reacts, you know he is frustrated because he sits there very, very placid through most games. And that was, I mean, that was traffic cop defense there. It was just hand signals watching players go past.
Bradkey to Copeland. Well, they're relying on their three-point shooting at the moment, the Tigers. They just can't get it inside. Gaze misses. Copeland misses. The Suns get it through D'Ambrosis. Oh, this looks good. And Curl finishes it off. Tenacious stuff from the Suns. They're chasing everything. Blair Smith to Bradkey. Nothing happens. The Suns chasing it again, but Blair Smith off the glass steadies it. They're away though, the Suns. No, Derek Rucker settles it down. A turnover. Gaze now. Will he make them pay? Still with Gaze. Good steal from the Suns, and Rucker is away. Curl for 3. It's a monster. No rebounders. All red singlets in there, and Bradkey.
Well, I'll tell you something. Curl doesn't have a learner's permit. He's definitely got a license. That's, I mean, that's the kind of shot most times coaches would say, hey, what you doing? But I guess they've said to them, run the floor, take the shots as you see them.
Oh, good hands from Jason Cameron. Curl now, this time 100% from there. And Simon Curl has 18 points, and we've still got 6.5 left to play.
Well, I tell you that the pace of this game is definitely suiting the Suns. As we said before, the Tigers starters, 4 of them are still out there. They've been there since the start of the match. The Suns have been rotating players in and out. I think the legs are going to tell in the end in this one.
Gaze. The screen, the give and go, no. Gordon for 3. He's short on that one. They had to get it away. There was only 1 second left on the shot clock. Jason Cameron rims in, comes straight back out into the hands of Andrew Gaze.
Boy, this is a different Suns lineup in their approach to this, mate. There's guys out there just taking shots last year who wouldn't even look at it.
Well, Andrew Gaze calls a timeout. He's not happy. The Suns looking good. 47-33. Well, the Tigers have had that timeout. They're looking for something. The Suns doing everything asked of them at the moment from the coaching staff. Not much happening for the Tigers. Daniel Egan into the game. Can he spark something? Nope. Brad Davidson now, the little terrier for the Suns. To Jason Cameron. Oh, they're not wasting any time. Let's get down there as quick as we can.
Well, I don't know how the Tigers are going to stem the flow of this tide. I mean, if the Suns are just going to keep running and you have got to keep chasing, there's no way you can stop that from happening.
There's just nothing happening. They're passing to one player, cutting down. player dribbles for a while and then hoping it goes in, as Copeland does. But everything the Suns are doing, you can't ask for much better. Look at this, the biggest man on the court, from the Suns' point of view. He doesn't waste any time, gets down there and gets the scraps and a foul as well.
Well, the good thing there from Tyson is Tyson didn't make the assumption that the shot would be made. He made sure that he was still there to cover it, and as you called it, he's a centre. And that's one of the reasons why the Suns have again been successful in their running game so far this season, is that their biggest player is running the floor as well as the guards.
49-33. Timeout called from the Suns. David Blades has gone into the Tigers timeout. They're obviously the ones with the biggest concerns at the moment. Listen to Mark Bragg.
Private hospital for your guidance. They will go 1, 2, 3. Come on! Oh, here's some noise. Come on, everybody, here's that. Ladder. You do it, John. Ladder. Come on, lift your hands up. Don't be so black. Here we go.
Well, there's the stats, the game stats for the so far. The Suns leading the rebounds. They're at 19-15, 10 assists to 5, and of course an assist is a pass that leads to a scoring basket, not just simply a ball movement around the floor, but a player creating an opportunity for one of his teammates. And I guess a lot of that's come on the transition game. I mean, assists are easy when you're passing the ball to someone for a layup. We couldn't hear much of Mark Bragg there with the noise, but I think the Suns would be very pleased with the way their zone is working at the moment.
David Blades was in the Tigers timeout. What's the word, Bladesy?
Mate, I was a bit like Trevor. I was having trouble hearing there, but I know that Lindsay's very concerned about their offence, and he's talked to him about shifting up and playing different options rather than just using their shuffle offence, which is producing nothing for them at the moment. So I think they're just struggling at the moment to try and get anything happening offensively, and they really need someone like Gaze or Copeland to start getting off.
Well, it could be a long night if you're going to rely just on the three-point shooting or the skills of individual players to carry you there. They've still got to get things done as a group.
Copeland gets around Kruger. Doesn't get two. Screaming for a foul. But while that's happening, Clarence Tyson gets the rebound and flicks it out into his teammates. And they're away again, the Suns. So the Suns retaining possession with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Brad Davidson. Been a pretty decent pickup for the Suns. It was basically the third option because they couldn't get the first, and then they went with a guy from Geelong. He had an injury. And Brad Davidson, coming from the CBA, certainly hasn't let them down. Cameron.
The thing about him is he plays good, tenacious defence, and he gets the ball to the players that can score, and that's his role.
Well, the Tigers get a defensive stop on that occasion. They've lifted the ante a little bit on the defence. Derek Rucker about to check back in. Gaze now. Good defence from Jason Cameron. Oh, look at that. Unlucky to get a foul.
And Cameron probably taking that a step too far, but geez, the pressure on Gaze is really frustrating Gaze at the moment, and there's not too many players in the league that can get that job done. Speaking of frustration, there's Lindsay standing up. It's not often that he's out of the chair. But again, as I said, if the Tigers are looking for Gaze and Copeland to go off, that's not the way to win the game from their point of view. They really need to get the ball in Bradkey's hands a little more inside. There's nothing happening for him in there.
Gaze for three. He's got to work for his baskets tonight. Jason Cameron is doing one heck of a job on Andrew Gaze. Kruger. Back to the skipper in Rucker. Foul has been called on Leonard Copeland. The basket won't count. Well and truly before the shot. It's on Ray Gordon.
Ray Gordon just reaching in to hold Rucker. He knew he'd lost him off the dribble, so was prepared to give up the foul. The Tigers persisting with their man-to-man. I thought maybe they might have switched up their defence and sort of tried to change the pattern of the game, but Lindsay Gaze is content to stay in the man.
Mitchell Hill. A steal from Gordon, but the Suns get it back through Mitchell Hill. We've got a foul called. The Suns go to the charity stripe for two shots.
D'Ambrosio with 10 points in the game so far. Has had another good match. Just looking at those shooting percentage, still 61% for the Suns, 3 of 7 for 43% from the three-point line is good. But what I like about that shooting is that of the 38 shots they've taken, only 7 have been from the three-point line. They've been able to find their way inside on a lot of occasions.
52-33. Under 3 minutes to play until half-time. Tigers just waiting for that half-time hooter to sound. Foul on Derek Rucker.
An awful lot happening off the dribble with the Tigers. I think they too need to be moving the ball a lot more and getting players in motion off the ball, working to get free for good shots.
This is Gordon. To Gaze. Mitchell Hill now has the job on Gaze. Copeland back to Gordon. He's left open for 3. Doesn't go. Foul has been called on Grant Kruger.
So the better ball movement there from the Tigers, but still resulting in a three-point shot. Still nothing happening in close to the basket for them. And Grant Kruger's foul, while it's a foul, he's ensured that there was no easy rebound inside on the offensive end.
They're doing a good job inside. They're really restricting Mark Bradkey at the moment. Daniel Egan with the big rebound. Oh no, it's Blair Smith, sorry. Oh, it is Egan.
Yep,
Gee,
Daniel Egan. Well, as I mentioned him before the game, he is one of the young local boys from Melbourne that the Tigers have picked up. And I understand they're expecting some pretty big things from him in the future.
Mitchell Hill for 3. Doesn't go. Leonard Copeland with a big defensive board, trying to ignite his team. They're trailing by 17 at the moment. Bradkey to the top of the key. The jumper is good. We've got a delayed game warning on the Tigers.
They're probably prepared to do that right now, just to slow things up a little bit, to make sure the Suns can't keep running at them.
52-37. Davidson for 3. Oh, he connects. Well, everyone's getting in on the act here in the Suns. A big three-pointer from Brad Davidson. Gordon now looking to retaliate. Doesn't go. Good blocking out from the Suns, and they're off to the races again. This is Rucker. He gets around Copeland with ease. A travel called on Derek Rucker. Well, the Tigers got a piece of that, I thought. Interesting to see that one on replay. It's all academic. The Tigers have possession through Gaze. Back to Copeland. His three-pointer is long. And the Suns are away again. This is Davidson. To D'Ambrosio. Strong move. Daniel Egan does well for the Tigers.
Just Copeland getting a little piece of that shot of D'Ambrosio too, just deflecting it away.
Gaze puts on the move. Went through 3 players, Andrew Gaze, and still got a shot away and got it in as well.
Well, a couple of nudges on the way in too. He's probably unlucky not to go to the line for a three-point play.
30 seconds left to play. D'Ambrosio, nice pass from Derek Rucker. Gee, he's been a good buy, D'Ambrosio.
Well, 13 points, 6 of 11 shooting, 3 rebounds, getting the job done for the Suns.
Well, they've been seeking revenge, the Suns. They lost by 2 to the Tigers in the season opener. It was a game that they knew they shouldn't have lost.
Andrew Gaze is going to be looking for a stretcher by the time he leaves here tonight. The singlet's out. He's tucking himself back in. He is really getting a workover from the Suns' defense.
Now everyone's having a bit to say.
Surprise, surprise, Ray Gordon's one of them. Probably one of the best trash talkers in the league, I would think.
10 seconds left to play. Brad Davidson with the steal. Rucker's away. Here we go. Whoa, that's a big basket right on half-time for the Suns. They've got a steal. So there it is at half-time, and what a half for the Suns. 59-39, 20-point leaders. third quarter action here at the Townsville Breakwater Entertainment Centre. And what a half it's been for the Suns. They lead by 20. Let's have a look at the match stats now, Trevor. 59-39 the scoring. Look at that field shooting percentage. And the three-point percentage, particularly for the Tigers, that's what they've been relying on and just haven't been connecting.
Well, they have, and the Suns' defence has forced them out to the perimeter. Bradkey has not been a factor in the game so far tonight. 3 of 8 for only 6 points. And he's still not looking real healthy. I think that's a problem for them too. But 60% from the field from the Suns. Very good shooting. A lot of that coming from transition, where they've got out and got the layups as they're running the open floor. And they've been able to win the rebound contest, and that is a big factor for them.
Well, the top scorers now, and you might be a bit surprised here. Look at this. Simon Curl, 18. Derek Rucker, only 5 points, but he has 9 assists out of 18 for the Suns. So he's certainly been setting up a lot. Third quarter action about to get underway. David Blades, not a bad half for the Suns.
Mate, great half for the Suns. Real good start. They got out of the blocks there and put the pressure on. I just had a bit of a yarn to Lindsay Gaze, and he's basically said that nothing has gone right at all for the Tigers in the first half, and all they need is for a few things to turn around and some things to start working, and he thinks they'll be back in the game. So he's not real worried at this stage. Mark Bragg is just, there's Clarence getting 2 there. Mark Bragg's just asked his players to just stay focused and keep doing what they've been doing, and they should be able to pull away with it.
Well, Lindsay Gaze might be a little bit worried now. The Suns getting first points in the third quarter. They lead by 22 now. Foul on Derek Rucker. Look pretty clean.
The foul has been called on Derek Rucker.
The important thing for the Tigers is not to try to get back this 22 points quickly. If they're going to get back in this game, they've got to try and pick up maybe 10 or 12 points of the lead in this quarter and then try to make a run at the Suns towards the end. But Jason Cameron tonight has done one hell of a job on Andrew Gaze. He has worn him like a glove.
Well, he is a defensive specialist, and he has been shooting as well. That'll be a foul on D'Ambrosis, and Bradkey will probably go to the line for 2 shots. D'Ambrosis with 2 personal fouls now. His third on that one.
You're talking about Derek Rucker having only 5 points in the game so far. He's only shot the ball 3 times. One of them was a 3, another was a layup on transition. I think in recent games, while the Suns have been successful, Derek has had the floor on the ball on the floor a lot in offense. I know they've talked to him about it, and I think tonight he has played exactly the role that the Suns required under the circumstances, and that's make the defense come to him and find the open man.
Curl does well, quick thinking, flicks it off Giddy's legs, so he'll retain possession because nothing was happening at that stage for the Suns. 61-41. Curl comes off the screen. Outside to Cameron. Ball movement is good from the Suns. Rucker looking to get around Giddy. Gets it to D'Ambrosis. They stand their ground, the Tigers, but Clarence Tyson equal to the task. He is really fired up. 71% from the field for C. Tyson.
Well, I was interested to see tonight whether the stories we've heard about Mark Bradkey not being well were true, and he really isn't up to scratch, Mark. He's out there, but he's not doing the sorts of things we're used to seeing.
Gaze gets around Cameron this time. Foul has been called on Jason Cameron, and Gaze to the line for 2.
Sometimes a foul is good value. Jason Cameron, as I said a moment ago, wearing Andrew Gaze like a glove. Andrew has 11 points in the game so far at 5 of 11 shooting. Nothing from the 3-point line because he hasn't really been given a good look at it. He will score from where he's standing. But defensively, even though you give up a foul, you're letting the shooter know that you're going to be there, that you're not going to give him anything that's a stand-up jump shot.
Gaze makes them both, but it's still 20 points. Curl. Giddy to play on situation. Body's going everywhere. Curl finds a bit of room down the middle and gets 2 points. Good pass from Jason Cameron as well.
Last week, Shane Heal made the bold prediction that Rucker and Curl were the best backcourt combination in the league, and I would say on tonight's performances, he's not too far off the mark.
Starting to combine well. They didn't have a pre-season, these 2 players. Gaze gets 2. So they really were against the 8-ball from the start, but they're now getting to know one another and how they play. Starting to combine well. Rucker to Curl. Jason Cameron. finds C. Tyson on the baseline. That is one heck of a shot, Clarence Tyson. His favoured left hand, but Bradkey was all over him, and he still got it away.
Well, he moved right on that. He turned to his right, shot it back with the left, and that's a little mid-range jumper for the sorts of shots that we've not seen from Tyson in the first 2 seasons.
Here we go again. Rucker gets it to his fellow import, not on this occasion. So Leonard Copeland to Blair Smith. The Tigers are really just looking for someone to ignite, and it's just not happening. Copeland for 3. It doesn't go. Jason Cameron does well. Flicks it back into Curl. They're on transition again, the Suns. Curl looks, spots, and shoots. Doesn't go. Warwick Giddy gets the defensive board. The Tigers are away now. The spin move from Andrew Gaze gets around 2 players. And Gaze, can he ignite his team?
Well, a spin move in traffic like that, and he still made it work. That was a great play.
You see it week in, week out from Andrew Gaze. Cameron is left alone, so he spots up for 3. And Andrew Gaze said, what do we do? How do we stop this team? They are on fire.
Well, some nights you walk in the gym and the other team does that to you, and there isn't anything you can do about it. You just play as hard as you can and hope you can get in the game.
Copeland for 3. He connects.
3 points,
Leonard Copeland, 8 points for the game at 25%. That's woeful shooting. And he wouldn't be happy with it. 3 of 12 from the field. D'Ambrosis. Got a double whistle, but the foul is going to go on Blair Smith, and it'll be a Suns possession from the baseline.
Curl's penetration there is really hurting the Tigers too. He's getting in the lane. As D'Ambrosis on the inbounds play almost got it inside for the lay-in. But Curl is able to break down that first line of defence, as Rucker is doing right now, resulting in a layup. But if Rucker gets to the basket and is challenged, he'll find another player, because the other guys are stepping in on the other side of the floor looking for the next pass on that play phase.
Well, I don't think the Tigers can come back. It might be a bold statement, but I predicted the Tigers to win by 10. I'll stand by that, because I don't mind if the Suns get up. I can live with it.
You'll have to.
But they are playing sensational basketball. Everyone is connecting and just combining so well at the moment.
It's just a substitution there for both teams, but for the Tigers, Leonard Copeland sitting down. Mark Bragg there, probably one of the happier nights he's had in the league in the last 5 years. Looking at his team out there working like clockwork, and every player on the squad contributing, and confidence from the coach to be able to go down the line of the bench and use anyone and play them some significant minutes and be happy with what they're doing.
Well, you mind, I go back to that game against Sydney a couple of seasons ago where they led Sydney by 20 points at half-time. Sydney came out and won the game in a 20-point turnaround. But you can't see that happening tonight. Totally different team this season.
I have to agree. I think, again, I'm a great fan of motion offense. And for people listening to what I'm saying when I say motion offense, there are rules to what you do, but the important aspect of motion is that no player on the floor will stand after releasing the ball. So if you're passing and moving and continuing to move, if there is a defensive player on the defensive side who is lazy or is not getting the job done, you will expose that player over a 30-second set.
Well, the Tigers are going to their bench now. Chapman into the game, number 13 for the Tigers. Lindsay Gaze just going to his bench saying, well, hopefully these guys can do something. Bradkey picks up the scraps and gets 2. This is Cameron. Ball movement again from the Suns. Player movement as well. Big screen set from Kruger, and Rucker runs off it well.
Perhaps the ideal game for Rucker tonight. If this game opens up even more, Rucker will come into his own as we go down the stretch, which is the way I feel Derek should enter every game that the Suns play. Get it to the players, get it to the other shooters early, and then ignite as the game continues.
Bradkey, 3 players on him. Well, look at that desperation stuff. That's how much the Suns want it. Clarence Tyson went chasing that.
Lindsay Gay's giving some more instructions, but a timeout has been called.
Timeout called. Suns still leading by 20. Makes them both, keeps his 100% record intact from the charity stripe. 14 points for Derek Rucker. The Suns doing it comfortably at the moment. Giddy, straight back to Gaze. Double teamed again, Andrew Gaze. Gets it inside to Bradkey. Still nothing happening for the Tigers. Damien Chapman for 2. Andrew Gaze picks up the scraps and gets 2 as well.
Well, Copeland's not had a good night, but I wouldn't think that Lindsay Gaze can leave him on the bench too long, purely because the Suns will be able to double up on Andrew Gaze. They'll be prepared to give shots to Chapman and Rainbow in particular to double up on Gaze.
Mitchell Hill. Inside to Froling, looking for the option. Curl comes off the screen and nails it. Simon Curl, 22 at 67%.
10 of 15 shooting. That is just a wow of a night, and the scoring being shared around. So 22 points in this game for the Suns. You've got to be shooting high percentages to get those kind of numbers.
Bradkey left alone, so he knocks down 2. No, he doesn't. Brett Rainbow up there. Is it Rainbow or Chapman?
Chapman it was.
Chapman. Well, these youngsters would be enjoying it. They wouldn't be enjoying the scoreline, but they'd be enjoying the fact they're out there. Rucker. That foul is on Chapman.
Derek Rucker taking Chapman on a little bit at this point in the game, realising that he has one of the young players, the rookies in the league, out there matched up on him, and exploiting his own game a little bit right now, and it's probably the right time to do it.
Rolling. Almost the steal. Rucker, oh yeah. Threads the needle, Derek Rucker. Tyson can't make it go down as an assist. Rainbow. Curl goes flying. Double teamed again on Gaze. And the good passing from the Tigers, but Bradkey just knocks it back in. 81-66. So still a comfortable lead for the Suns, but Rucker a little concerned, so he calls a timeout, courtesy of his coaches. Well, the Tigers aren't out of it, but you'd prefer to be in the Suns' position than the Tigers, that's for sure.
Well, I think it's interesting to look at the Tigers right now. We talked about the Chapman and Rainbow being on the floor and whether that's an advantage or a disadvantage. I mean, the starting five's been out there and not been able to do anything about closing the gap. He's brought in a couple of these young kids and they're giving up the ball. They're moving it and they're passing it. They're doing the same sorts of things as the Suns, and all of a sudden, the gap is closing a little bit.
5 guys. We can score anytime we want down here if we just move the basketball. Let's just have 5 guys on the defensive glass, all right? You're doing okay.
Mark Bragg's comment there was about 5 guys on the defensive glass. I mean, he's happy that they can score anytime they want down here, but the last couple of trips down the floor on defense, the defense hasn't been as intense.
The Tigers won't lay down and die. They'll fight it out to the end. And at the moment, they're trailing by 15.
Just as that timeout was called, we had a technical foul called on number 42, Simon Curl.
Well, technical foul has been called on Simon Curl just prior to the timeout. So Andrew Gaze to the line for 2 shots.
Well, if you think back, Curl took what he thought was a charge foul on Gaze in that last play and didn't get the call. The referee's calling play on, and got upset with it, obviously, and made a comment that really wasn't a smart move at this point. I mean, Gaze is probably going to knock both of these down. And that 20-point lead is now down to 13, and that gets the Tigers within striking distance. And as I said before, they're doing it with some bench players out there.
Well, if they get it under 10 at 3/4 time, anything is possible. The Suns don't want to lose their way. Foul has been called on the Tigers, so the Suns retain possession. In fact, we'll go to the line for 2 shots. Jason Cameron.
You've got to be a little careful in games like this where you get out on those 20-point leads, and I guess you see it every week. If you go to sleep, if you start to think it's over, all of a sudden that gap, the 20-point lead is not there anymore. You get it to 10, and you start to think a little bit about the opposition instead of playing as relaxed as you were before.
Well, they miss both, but Kieran Mitchell-Hill does well to drag it back in. Cameron. Another foul called, so he'll go to the line again.
Is the benefit of penetration, being able to break down the defence from the perimeter and get it in that lane. The defence has to play you. Someone has to switch. You don't have good defensive position. A hand goes in. While the foul counts up, you get a chance to go to the line a lot, but you need to put them away.
So Jason, 82-68 now. 2:31 left to play in the third quarter. The Suns extending their defence. Not giving the Tigers a sniff. Bradkey, double teamed again. Shot clock is down to 12 seconds. Time running out. Make it 9. Good defence from the Suns. Gaze with a monster of a 3, and the big hands of Bradkey snap it back in. Gaze comes in closer. He can't make it count. He's not happy with himself. But the Tigers do well to get it back. And Bradkey gets 2. Well, that could ignite his team. It's a 12-point ball game.
You're seeing a little bit more urgency about the Tigers' defence out here, and I'll give some credit to Chapman and Rainbow. They're playing it a little tougher and a little harder than the rest. Rucker coming up with a big play, though, against his young opponent.
Big shot, Derek Rucker. 16 points for the game. Just to stretch it back out again to 14. Give his team a bit of breathing space.
Well, 16 points, and he's missed one shot tonight. Missed one shot. Worked his way into the game nicely.
Chapman goes baseline. Looking for his players. Rucker's away. He won't miss this one. Yeah! Almost a jam. And then a mistake. Take it, Trevor. Take it to the hoop. Well, an elementary mistake from Warwick Giddy. He just passed it to Mr. Nobody.
Me?
Sorry, yeah, but
I
you
got
didn't
it.
do anything with it. Shoot it from there.
Derek Rucker putting a dunk down. We don't see that a lot.
Oh, Shane Froling, a big rebound. The reject from Bradkey. But Jason Cameron picks up the scraps, and the crowd is fired up again. The team out to 18.
Shane Froling getting some minutes tonight, something he's been craving for in recent weeks. Not seeing a lot of court time. You can guarantee one thing, he will bust his bum to be out there and play as hard as he can.
Rainbow for 3. Whoa. A big three-pointer for Brett Rainbow. I'm not too sure what that was all about. It's still a Suns possession.
Well, Froling getting a little agitated out there too. He's got to get that back under control and stay focused on what the job is.
Rucker, we will wind the clock down. There's a differential of about 8 seconds between the game clock and the shot clock. You can see them both on screen. Rucker gets around Chapman. Eventually. Oh, Froling is up there trying to jam it back in. The Suns retain possession. Now they will wind it down for one good shot. Nice pass, Simon Curl. Dyson picks up the scraps and gets 2. Whoa. Right on three-quarter time, just as we thought the Tigers were coming back, the Suns have answered. Well, the hoot is gone. Well, they want to keep playing. So, at three-quarter time, the Suns lead the Tigers 90-73. Rainbow's managed to keep his spot. Giddy looking to get it to Gaze, which he does eventually. Gaze still with it. 2 players on Andrew Gaze. Giddy comes over the top and will get a foul for that. Derek Rucker had the inside position.
A little bit of frustration there in the look from Roy Giddy. Certainly got Rucker across the arms, but it's been a pretty frustrating night for the Tigers so far. The Suns can put this away right now if they can take control of the first couple of trips down the floor and get a couple of good looks at baskets.
Rucker. Oh, he's feeling it. He's only missed 2 shots all night. 20 points for Derek Rucker. Giddy now for the Tigers. The defense has done it for the Suns tonight. They really have forced the Tigers to take shots like that from beyond the 3-point arc where they haven't been shooting well. Tyson says thank you, Brett Rainbow. Simon Curl. Tyson. Back to Curl. Shot clock is down to 18 seconds. A turnover. Andrew Gaze with it. The no-look pass to Ray Gordon. Goes in. Brett Rainbow does well to pick up the scraps. And gives his side another 30 seconds. As Bradke slowly gets down the other end. Nice backcourt play for Brett Rainbow from Andrew Gaze.
Rainbow having a fine game tonight. It's the most minutes we've ever seen him play with the Tigers up here, and he's done a fine job for them.
92 plays 75. This is Tyson. Nice pass to Jason Cameron. Oh, Clarence Tyson is playing sensational tonight.
Big back screen there on Cameron's player too. The back screen's the hardest thing to see from a defensive player's point of view. You don't see it coming. You find out about it when it's hit you.
Almost the steal from Rucker. It'll be a Tigers possession.
A spirit thought for the officials tonight. Would you like to be refereeing this game, trying to keep up with the pace of it?
Well, imagine if there was only 2 like they normally had.
But I think there would have been a few calls from behind play rather than on the lead.
They're puffing out there, as is the players. 10 seconds left to get a shot away for the Tigers. Bradke screaming for it inside there. Shot clock is down to 4. Rainbow with a 3-point bomb. Clarence Tyson, rebound number 11 tonight. Inside to D'Ambrosis. Cameron for 3. Oh my goodness! Jason Cameron connects. And he's into double figures. 17 for Jason Cameron. Whoa, what a game.
Throw in 7 boards and 4 steals with that, and he has had a heck of a night.
Well, picking an MVP tonight is going to be difficult. There hasn't been one bad player on the Suns' point of view. And they're away again. D'Ambrosis sends them off. Tyson, the no-flick pass from Curl. Curl for 3. 4,000 fans willing that in.
Is Leonard Copeland back in the match?
Charge foul. Not much doubt about that. Leonard Copeland not having a happy night.
It's not been a great place to play for Leonard Copeland. He's never really had what you'd call a happy game here in Townsville. We see him play really well week in, week out in the league, but Townsville's not been a happy hunting ground for him.
The Suns, 97-75. 8:26 left to play. Nice pass from Derek Rucker to find D'Ambrosis. And the Tigers now through Leonard Copeland to Gaze. Gaze trying to squeeze his way in, and it's a charge foul. D'Ambrosis just stood his ground.
Let's have a look at this one. Gaze gets by Cameron. D'Ambrosis. Well, normally the decision is, did he get him on the chest? I think D'Ambrosis was a fair piece of knee and shoulder there. Perhaps Gaze a little unlucky.
Oh, this crowd is really pumping. They've had plenty to cheer about tonight.
Oh, Tyson.
Tyson, he's played an absolutely brilliant game tonight. 18 points at 63.2% with 11 rebounds.
Well, teams knew that Tyson couldn't shoot the ball from that range over the last 2 seasons. He would need to be banking it off the glass in close. And I think Tyson tonight has shown us that he can shoot it over his post player from just outside the edge of the keyway, and that's a vital shot from his repertoire.
Copeland eventually gets 3. Well, I have no doubt saying that Rucker and Tyson are without doubt the best 2 imports in this league. Every night you know what you're going to get from them. D'Ambrosis now. Rucker, look at that pass to Curl. Simon Curl could feed off that all night. 24 points for him, and that is assist number 12, I think, for Rucker. Rainbow for 3. It'll be a Tigers possession. Well, that's what they have to go to now. It really is all over. It's 101-78. It will be a Suns win. The Tigers have certainly had it served up to them tonight. Bradkey backs in, goes to work. D'Ambrosius gets a piece of it. But Bradkey cleans up and gets another 2.
Now, Bradkey's got 16 points and 13 rebounds, but you wouldn't have thought he was out there tonight. I mean, and that's no criticism of Bradkey. He just simply hasn't been able to have a great influence on the game, even though he's put up good numbers. Great pass from D'Ambrosius. Tyson finishing it off with the layup.
Ah, yes. When you're hot, you're hot. And this team is certainly hot at the moment. 103-80. We'll take a break as the Suns are about to win number 4 at home. Well, look at this from a pass.
Oh, no, that wasn't the one we thought, but that'll do anyway. Jason Cameron finding the three-pointer. Taking a lot more shots this season than what we've seen from him, and knocking down a very good percentage of them.
7 of 11 from the field at 64%. Steal from Rucker. Here we go. Gordon chases him, decides not to foul, and Rucker misses the shot. Bradkey tries to get it inside to Gaze. And the Suns have it again through Cameron. Inside to Tyson. He goes up strong. D'Ambrosius says, "Oh, fix it, fellas," and puts it in for 2.
There's a flood of players there coming in after that rebound. It was Rucker first, followed by D'Ambrosius. Rucker kept it alive with a hand on it, got it back up on the wall, and realistically, the Suns are doing, I can't think of a thing wrong tonight that they've done. I mean, yes, they had a flat spot during the third quarter. They recovered very quickly from it and have gone straight back into their game plan and stuck with it right through.
Well, as I said to you off air, Trevor, there is no way in the world you could have picked the Suns to win by 25. But they are going to maybe win by 30. And this will send a big signal to the league that the Suns are serious this year. Bradkey, the block on Tyson. But look, Tyson goes back for seconds. He just doesn't stop and say, well, okay, you blocked me, fair enough. He went back for it again and got 2 points.
But that's the work ethics that Tyson, as an individual, has brought to this group over the last 2 years. And I think his attitude to playing has helped a lot of them to gain the same intensity in their basketball.
Oh, no look pass from Rucker. Oh, is they? Oh, man, I'm loving this. I might have picked them to lose by 10, but I'm loving this.
Well, Rucker up to 5 boards, 20 points at 8 of 12 shooting. He's in double figures with assists. Not much else you can say. Copeland goes for the 3. Look out, the Suns running the floor again. 3 on 2.
Rucker. Oh, great pass to Jason Cameron. He gets it back to Cameron. This is for 3. Doesn't go, but Rucker does well to get it back. Oh, showtime! Rucker! Well, we've seen it all tonight. We've got to get a replay on that. Look at this.
Take a look at this. In between the legs on the pass. I tell you something right now, the Tigers are being embarrassed, and that's not something they're enjoying. Andrew Gaze, though, still a great player. Putting it together, getting another 2. Picks up the foul. Gaze up to 28 points in a losing team at 53%. You can never question the quality of that man.
Well, Trevor, I've got to say it, corresponding game last year. My son is 1 today.
Is that right? Congratulations.
Corresponding game, they came out and gave North Melbourne a hiding when he was born. And they've come out tonight and given the grand finalists of last year a true spanking.
Well, I think it was a lesson tonight. I mean, you know that the Tigers are yet to hit their straps. I mean, they're still getting their team together and had some off-court problems over the last couple of weeks, and we know that they will play better than this. But as you said before, the Suns sending out a message that they are legitimate top 6 contenders.
Well, they're playing with confidence, and the big C word means a lot in basketball. when you've got it, you can play above yourself. And this team certainly is playing some good basketball.
We haven't seen, it's difficult to catch up with every team in the league, as in watching them play a lot of basketball, but I've not seen a game from anyone who is sharing the ball so much and moving the ball so well offensively. I mean, the teams run their plays and they get it to certain players, but I don't think the Suns are really truly looking for any one individual to score for them. They're just taking it as it happens. And that again, there's another pass. Penetration and dump. The defense has to shut down the penetration. You get a layup on the next play phase, and it's been unselfish basketball that's creating so many very easy opportunities, and the fact that they are the highest percentage shooting team in the league right now.
Well, it's like backyard basketball, isn't it? Let's go out there and have some fun. Whoever gets the ball, shoot it if you're free. That's the way they're playing at the moment.
Cameron just picking up a foul and back play there on Andrew Gaze.
The foul has been called on number 11.
11 minutes left to play. David Blades, you've been sitting on the bench. You're enjoying this.
I'm absolutely loving it. I think my prediction's going to be a bit out there, but at least mine was in favour of the Suns.
As I said, I can wear it. If the Suns are going to win, which they are in true fashion. 113.85. The bench is on for the Suns. Brad Davidson, Shane Froling. I'm going to cop a ribbing from the players, but who cares? The Suns are going to win. Kruger. Mitchell Hill goes to the hoop for two. Well, there's only two players who haven't scored. Shane Froling is one, and David Panisi, who hasn't seen any court time because of a knee injury, is the other. Well, we've got to get it to Froles. He's got to score. Number 9 for the Suns. Here he is now with the ball. Take it up, son! Oh, Shane Froling.
Timing just a little bit off there for Froling. Hasn't seen, as I said before, many minutes this season, but you know with Shane Froling that if he's called upon to do a job, you'll get it done.
115.85. Gaze with the ball. Gives it to Copeland. Good defense from the Suns again. Gaze with some sort of shot. He gets the foul and will go to the line for two.
That's his first foul.
Shane Froling trying to make sure that at least the layup didn't go in. But Andrew Gaze on the line at 29 points tonight for Gaze. He's basically unstoppable in a team tonight that hasn't had anyone stand up on the score sheet other than Copeland and Bradkey. And I looked at the stats of last week's game with the Tigers. They won in double overtime against Sydney, scored only 88 points in regular time, and had only 3 players in double-figure scoring. We know the problems that the Suns had over 2 seasons with only 3 players scoring. If the Tigers can't find someone else in their lineup to put some numbers on the board, they're going to run into the same problems as this season progresses. Let's remember too, Jarvis Lang is not out there tonight, and that is a problem obviously for the Tigers. I mean, one of your imports not playing has made it a little easier for the Suns tonight to concentrate on Bradkey and make sure they took him out of the game.
Mitchell Hill to the line for 2. And the Tigers just flick it away, so he gets none of 2. Doesn't really matter though. The Tigers now just trying to add some respectability to the score. Copeland with 3. 115 plays 90. Remembering, Shane Froling, the only one yet to score.
We'll have a look at the lineup on the floor. Aside from Jason Cameron, we have 4 of the bench out there to finish this match off. And that's recognition of the contribution that those players have made tonight.
Davidson looking for an option. Gets one in Kruger. Well, he knocked down a 3 last week.
Well, it was only 2, but he's 1 of 1 from the 3-point line for the season. If I was him, I wouldn't shoot it out there again. I'd go home with my 100% for the year.
The Tigers now. 117 plays 90. Oh, Froling goes up strong and gets a foul. So Gaze, he's really felt it tonight. He's been double-teamed every time he's got the ball. And you can just see it on the man. He is absolutely knackered.
He's done his best though, hasn't he? 31 points. You can't say enough about him. We do it every time we see him play. Some of that missed free throw's got to come down to some weariness at this point of the night. He's played the full 48 minutes or 47 minutes up till now. And any team in the country would kill to have him in their lineup.
Mitchell Hill. The motion offense just went a bit astray on that occasion. 117 plays 91, under a minute left. Copeland to Wickstrom. He takes it to the hoop. It'll be a Tigers possession with 34 seconds left to play.
Well held defence there from Froling too, just getting his body in the lane, making sure that Wickstrom didn't get a good look at a layup.
Wickstrom again, outside to Copeland for three. Ooh, he connects. Bernard Copeland. It's all too late for the Tigers. Gaze gets a piece of that. Mitchell Hill for two. Oh, Froling does well to get it back. Cameron coming over the back will get the foul.
I don't think there's any doubt about the one, Jace. Just climbed over the top of him, but the smiles on the Suns' faces will tell the story of tonight's run. And a couple of coaches sitting over the side there in pretty much what you'd call a Lindsay Gaze pose, I suppose. Legs crossed and relaxed back in the seat. As Lindsay relaxed. The Suns coaches, as I said, pretty much the same.
Well, they would have to have enjoyed this. There's players battling the flu virus all week. I mean, Rucker and D'Ambrosis didn't get on the floor until Wednesday. But you just wouldn't have read about this. It's been a sensational effort from the Suns. Froling takes it to the hoop. Oh, but he got it rejected from Daniel Egan. 5.2 seconds left to play. Kruger gives it to Froling, put it in, go in. Mitchell Hill cleans it up, so it won't go down to Froling. But what an effort from the Suns. The players are up. You've got to applaud that. A standing ovation from another sellout crowd here. What an effort. 119.95. The Melbourne Tigers, the grand finalists from last year, have been given a true North Queensland spanking. David Blades is courtside to see if he can get either C. Tyson or Jason Cameron. What an effort from Cameron tonight. 17 points and 9 rebounds, plus a defensive job on Andrew Gaze. Well, what an effort. You certainly have to applaud that. David Blades is courtside now with Jason Cameron.
Well, Jason, first time you played the Tigers this year, nervous start. None of those nerves around tonight.
Absolutely not. We played a few games, got a few under our belt, a few wins, we're playing with some confidence. We came out and showed that tonight.
Great defensive job tonight. You chased Andrew Gaze around all night, did a great job. Him frustrated him, obviously made him tired, but overall, great defensive job. Is that something you've worked on during the week?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, people come in and say we don't have the offensive abilities of other teams, so we got to come out and shut some teams down. I mean, Gaze is always going to get his 30 because he shoots 20 free throws a game, but we just tried to keep his percentage down and keep the rest of the team down. That's how we won.
Yeah. Also, offensively, talking about that, Chase, very, very good spread tonight. Everyone just seemed confident whenever there was an open shot, they took it, and 4, 5, 6 guys stepped up tonight and played well.
That's the difference this year. Years gone by, 3 guys used to score, and if one of them didn't fire, we lost. This year we got 5 or 6 guys capable of scoring in double figures, and if one has an off night, we got other guys to back him up.
Great game, Jace. Go and enjoy yourself.
Thanks, Dave.
Back to Trevor and Ken straight after this break.
Well, who would have predicted that? A 24-point victory to the Suns. I tipped them to lose. So I'm the star of the evening, aren't I? With me is Clarence Tyson, who absolutely was filthy on me for tipping them. Mate, what a game.
What a game. You know, it's wrong for Ken Furtis to get on national TV and say that we was going to lose by 12. But, you know, those kind of things that we like. You know, we like when the cards been against us. And this team this year, you know, it's a quality team. We have good players, guys who want to win. And, you know, when you're back up against the wall, you come out fighting.
Well, you obviously came out firing tonight. And as we said in the commentary, you really now, I mean, people have to start taking notice. I mean, you can win 1 or 2, but you have strung 4 together at home. And now, if you start winning on the road, anything is possible.
Yeah, you know, in order to make that next step going to the playoff, what the Suns want to do, you know, we have to win our home games, and hopefully we can, you know, win a few on the road. But, you know, yeah, they have to give us our respect. We're going to be 2 quality teams, I think, in the Magic and the Tigers here, both for the grand finals last year. But, you know, we're just going to take this win here for the night, and we got to come back in and go to Melbourne, play the Giants next weekend, and come back and I think play Canberra on Sunday. So, you know, we'll enjoy this for 24 hours and get back in the office.
Well, that's obviously the key, isn't it? You can't get carried away. It is a long season. But, I mean, prior to this game, now let's be honest, prior to this game, you obviously knew you could win it. But, I mean, winning by that margin, you wouldn't have given yourself any hope of winning by that.
No, not by that much. But we just want to come out and knowing the first game that we played against the Tigers, so we lost by 2 points. And, you know, the guys came out. We always kind of had the jellos in the first game. But, you know, this game here, we just want to come out and let the home crowd know that, you know, we're not going to take a backward step towards nobody. But, again, yeah, we never expect, you know, to win by this margin here. But, you know, it's a done deal. We got it, and we're going to enjoy this win.
Certainly will. And I owe you a beer now.
I don't drink, man. A Coke would do.
Well done, Clarence. A big effort from C. Tyson. In fact, a big effort from the entire team tonight, Trevor. It really was a sensational win. I mean, there's no way in the world you could predict them to win by that, but the way they played, they could have easily won by 30 or 40 points.
It was comprehensive. I mean, they controlled every aspect of the game, and I guess if we get a look at the match stats in a moment, you will see that they won the rebound contest, that their shooting percentage was better than the other team, and I think the defensive effort, I said before the game, if they keep the Tigers under 100, they'll win. They got them at 95.
They certainly did. Let's have a look at the match stats now, and this will tell the entire story. 119.95. Look at that field shooting percentage, and look at the rebounds, 46 to 38. And they had Mark Bradkey out there and Blair Smith. I mean, 2 of the tallest guys in the league.
Well, Bradkey, you've got to be honest, Bradkey is not 100% fit. He really didn't look well tonight. Blair Smith hurt them in the first game, wasn't able to tonight. Jarvis Lang not there, so a lot asked of Bradkey when he wasn't really able to deliver tonight.
Top scorers now, as we said, Derek Rucker had 5 up until half-time. Look at that now, 20 he finished with the game. Clarence Tyson, 24, and he had something like 12 or 13 rebounds, as is usual. Andrew Gaze, again, 32.
Well, Gaze, again, he carried the workload tonight, and they really went looking for someone just simply to get him out of trouble tonight. It didn't happen. Copeland got 19, but he got a few late baskets. He really wasn't a factor tonight.
5 players in double figures for the Suns also tells the story. As we said, Jason Cameron with 17. He also had to defend Andrew Gaze, and he got something like 10 rebounds as well. So really a comprehensive win, as Trevor said, a great win for the Suns, and it really is a great team effort. It's not 1 or 2 players, it's the entire team right down to number 9 or 10. Well, on behalf of the entire crew, we'll be back next Sunday because they play the North Melbourne Giants on Friday, back here on Sunday at the Furnace to play the Canberra Cannons, and the way this team is playing, anything is possible in season 1997. On behalf of Trevor Roberts,